Hey, I'm not going to take up a ton of your time right now. I do have a lot more to share, but I have a few things I want to show you real quickly and at the same time fill you in a little bit about last night. Um, okay, where do I start? Um, I went to Millbrook last night to see Greece, and we had, seats that were real close. And at one point, but I was at like the end of the row, but like the end that was like next to a railing and in the second row in the center. And so there's like a little gap in between the front row seat and the side. And at that point, like the whole rest of the row was filled with people, and the person on the other aisle of my row also had canes, but like two canes, not the same as mine, but still, I mean, it's an issue like getting up and down and moving them out of the way. And I really didn't want to make the other people, on the other side get up. And so going down, like, okay, so you have to understand that, depth perception wise and just sometimes visually, it might look different from the top looking down than it does if I was standing at the bottom looking up. Okay, so I thought the person that in the seat, like in the front row, had gotten up. And so looking down, I thought, I think I can fit in between that spot and be easier for me to put my cane down there and tap down on the step and then tap down to get down on the stage, to be able to walk out. It was intermission. And so I was able to fit that way. I squeezed myself down and pretty quickly was out through there. And I looked at my mom and I was like, I just thought that would be easier. And she laughed. But coming back, the person was sitting in that seat, and I went around the side and looked up, and I was just like, I don't think I can fit through there. And I realized I fit through it going down, but visually it looked different going up, and the person was in the seat. I realized I didn't actually step into the seat, but it just looked different, right? So I was like, I don't think I can, I don't know. And so then, I walked around and all the people got up and I walked through, and the lady sitting next to my mom was like, she said to her husband, who was the one in that seat, she's like, if you would have gotten up, she could have gotten through that spot. And I said, it just looked like I couldn't going up. And he's like, I would have moved. And I was like, no, I just felt like I couldn't get through. I know that sounds weird, but perception matters, right? And I don't know, I just felt like I couldn't get through. And I was like, oh no, like it really wasn't you. I really didn't think that I could get through. And the mom's looking at me like I'm crazy. But really, that just popped into my head. And what I really wanted to share with you was that on the website, it said nothing about lights, nothing about special effects or anything. And the last time I was at Millbrook, I counted the steps, but I remembered incorrectly. And so I was tapping up the steps to get up there, and I was like, oh, there's 16. But sometimes when you do that, it's like, oh, is there like another, is that the top or is that the last step? So anyway, I was like, okay, there's 16. And then we got up to the door, we're waiting our turn to go in, and I look over and I see that there's a sign, and I'm like, crap. And it's like, there are flashing lights in this performance. It did not say where there are flashing lights. It did not say strobe. It did not say if they were white or if they were colored, which matters. And I said to my mom, well, I need to know where they are. And I'm like, I'm just going to go back down and ask at the box office. So I went down, and the person there, I know I would consider a friend. And so I went down and I was like, hey, there's a sign up there that says there's flashing lights. Do you know if that's a strobe? Do you know if it's white or colored? And I really need to know where in the show it is. And so first she says, oh, it's in the back. And so I thought she meant behind the seats. And I said, I'm in the south. Oh, it's not shining on to the audience. It's in the back of the audience, because then it wouldn't have been as big deal. And she's like, no, on the proscenium, and which is like the back part of the stage. And I'm like, oh, well, you didn't say that. And I'm like, so they are flashing out. And she's like, well, why? And I said, because it blinds me. But again, this goes back to the whole thing. Like, I know I've mentioned this about Europe. Like, if I am at a restaurant asking you what is in something, just answer me. Like, Ray should not have said so many times, she has an allergy. Like, that is your job, right? Like, if I am there asking you a question about something, it does not matter if you know why I'm asking you. Obviously, I have a reason for asking you. Like, this makes me furious because it's a big deal. But also, even if it wasn't a big deal, I am a customer. I am there asking you. Just answer me. And so it became very clear that she wasn't going to be able to answer me. So I went around to the side where I did have a good friend that was working. I wasn't sure that she was in there, but it wound up being a great thing that she was in there. The artistic director was also in there. And so they explained to me what song it was happening on, what was going to happen. I didn't know like precisely, but at least I knew in general like where that was and exactly where in the show it was. Which I already know the show, but you know, everybody does it differently. So I was like, okay, you know, I think I can stay for the show. I had my visor on, and I had these glasses on. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna like go like this basically, until we know what's happening. Well, there's a car on the stage for Grease Lightning, and it's like the front half of a car, and there are headlights. Now, they didn't tell me this was happening, and the headlights were white, and they blink, 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 blink. It was quick, like, I mean, it happened quickly and was over quickly, but made me want to vomit. And then there was a thing in the back part of the stage that did the same, but at a different part. So if this bothers you, I mean, you're welcome to come talk to me about it. But yeah, so even though they told me that it was colored lights, it was white, which is worse. And then in several parts of the show, they didn't tell me this, there were colored spots that just sort of like cycled the stage and the audience. I felt like that part was unnecessary, and I didn't really understand why it was happening. And it wasn't as bad as the other part, but I didn't love it. You know what I mean? So that was interesting. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to say all this on this video, but since I'm already on, I might as well, right? So earlier in the day, and I didn't think anything of it earlier in the day. I thought it was because I ate barbecue chips. So I started to have really bad heartburn, but it wasn't like my normal acid reflux. It was like right here, like right under my breastbone, and just like sat there and was really, really bad. And I drank liquid carafate, that stuff that I got at the ER last time, a whole bunch. I took 2 Pepsid, you know, what really wound up calming it down, but I think it was a combination of the medication kicking in and having a cup of hot tea, that seemed to calm it down. But at the same time, I was having jaw pain on both sides. Again, didn't think anything of it right then. We went to the show, and then at the last song of the show, it kicked in again. The heartburn and the jaw pain on both sides. Now, we have family history of heart stuff, and I knew that symptoms of a heart attack for a woman were different. So I really started thinking, like, what if this is a heart attack? You know what I mean? And I mean, my dad had heart attacks that he didn't know he was having until after the fact and the damage was done. My aunt died of a heart attack very suddenly. My dad died of a heart attack very suddenly. So, you know, we're sitting there, Mom's like, why don't you just sit here a little bit? Because, I mean, there was no point in getting up at the end. The theater was packed. Even if I stood up, I was just going to be standing there longer. And so I was telling her, you know, what was going through my head. Am I worried about nothing? And Mom's like, no, like, you know, we need to go get checked. And I called Phil once we got out to the car. I was like, hey, we're going to run up to the hospital real quick, get an EKG. He's like, yeah, definitely do that. So we did. But the funny part about it, and don't worry, it wasn't my heart. We were all good. I actually was out of there relatively quickly for an ER visit, and they were very kind. But the lady, now, I understand that you hear blind or vision loss, and I don't know, you get anxious, your head goes a different place, or you think, oh, she can't see, and so out your mouth comes things about seeing, like maybe that's what happened. And she was really embarrassed, but she's like walking me back. My mom had told her, like, while I was in the bathroom doing a urine thing, had like given her a little bit of background. And so I have my cane, I'm like walking back, like following her back, so to speak. And she goes, can you see okay? And I just kind of stopped and I started to laugh, and I was like, no, no, I can't see okay. And she goes, oh my gosh. She's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what just, it's just so funny. I don't know. It just made me laugh, and it still makes me laugh. And she, I mean, obviously didn't mean to say that. And they were like good about everything else. And she did like describe where I was going to get on the scale and like where I was going in the room, but I don't know. You know, it happens to everyone, but it was just funny. But anyway, let's dive into these things. I only have a few things to point out, but I got these really cool 4-colored pens. So for a limited time, if you have a qualifying sale with me, like if you take orders or have a party, you're going to get a custom 4-color pen as your gift. And I have like, so they're all the same 4 colors of ink, but they're different colors at the base. Pretty cool, huh? Just some examples. And I don't know, you guys can probably tell better than me. I want to say it's like blue, red, black, and I don't know what the 4th is. Maybe like green. I don't know. You tell me in the comments what those 4 colors are, okay? And then I got, so some of these are going in the mental health collection, and this one is one of them. And it says, don't let their energy change yours. And it's like the energy is on like an energy bar, like on your phone or whatever. And it's like different color bars. That's pretty cool. It's on a black bead with white letters. This one, I mean, it could go with the mental health collection, or someone requested it for the teacher ones. So it says, what makes you different makes you beautiful. Or it could just be, you know, random. And it has different colors. It has like aqua, pink, black, or maybe that's purple. Let me know. This one is Progress Over Perfection. Again, could go in either one, but I had a friend request it for teacher. And it's like multicolored on black. This one, these are already taken, but if you would like to request that I order more, I can. They kind of took longer than I wanted to get here, but it is Snoopy Hugging Woodstock. Super cute. these are going in with the t-shirt, but they could go with anything. It's a rainbow of crayons, and it says, "We are all wonderfully made." Really cute. Could also go with like a Christian theme. It does not say a Bible verse or anything, but it could go with that because it is biblical. This one is just for me. And I thought I got more of them, but I didn't, because they only had like 1 or 2 left. It is a stained glass I love you hand in American Sign Language. So you can see why that one's for me. These ones I don't usually show you guys, but it's just like a mix of round silicone beads, all different colors. I'll have to sort them out still into my bins. I guess some of them are like marbled. I also have a bunch of those in pink for the Boxes of Hope fundraiser. And I think that's all I have in right here. I have a huge bag, sheepishly, from the other day to show you, but I'm not going to do it in this video. And I think that's all for right now. So let me know if you like any of those, or you want a 4-color pen, or you want to do a sale. And I can do an in-home party if you'd like, or a Facebook party. I had someone ask about that. So let me know, and I have everything for rewards like written out, so I can just like shoot that over to you. And I do have it delineated for a fundraiser as well. So just let me know. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. Oh, it's not letting me. Sorry, hang on a second. There's like a